I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan. I'm a doctor, but I'm also a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of color. So today's video is about reviewing Sesderma. So I've been asked to do this video a lot actually from our following in South Africa, but Sesderma is actually a huge company and can be purchased globally. Okay, so as you know, none of my videos have ever been sponsored and they will never be sponsored. This whole channel is dedicated to my global skin of color family to create a reference library for us to know what to use and what to avoid. I think because I'm not sponsored, it gives me freedom to be as open and critical of products as I want to be without, you know, any other influences. So yes, I am going to be critical of this brand because you've asked me to do it so much. So if that sounds good to you, give me a thumbs up. Let's dive right in. So in case you are new to this channel, there are certain criteria I have for products for skin of color. Because our melanocytes are large, they are easily triggered. Those are cells that produce the pigment melanin. I always say one scratch, one bite, or one burn, and we hyperpigment. It's because our melanocytes are large. Whereas for Caucasian skin, the melanocytes are tiny and they are very difficult to trigger. You can literally burn the top layer of skin away using Fraxel laser and the skin grows back beautifully. With skin of color, if we did that, we would be left with hyperpigmentation everywhere. So we just have to be a lot more careful. And so I always say look for NAIF-safe products. That's a phrase that I coined to make it really easy for you to assess whether a product is good for you or not. And that stands for no denatured alcohol, no fragrance, and no essential oils. Denatured alcohol is basically a short chain volatile alcohol that evaporates from the skin and takes water away with it. So leaves your skin feeling quite dry. This is not good for skin of color because we already have less ceramides than Caucasian skin. So we don't want to dry the skin further. The second is no fragrance. The reason I say this is because fragrance is the #1 cause of contact dermatitis. Now, contact dermatitis can happen in about 3 to 4% of the population of people who use fragrance. Now with us, that rash or inflammation can lead to pigmentation. And so this is why I tend to have quite a firm stance against fragrance in any of our skincare. And I do know that I tend to err on the side of caution more than most, and it's also because the number of viewers this channel gets. I mean, right now we've had 13 million views, and I just think, could you imagine if 3 to 4% of that population got contact dermatitis because of something that I had recommended? So I do take my position of responsibility quite seriously. I try not to fearmonger, but I do want to protect us as much as I can. And the third one is essential oils. Now, essential oils was, marketed as a great thing, and it's quite confusing because you think, but Dr. V, I've been told lavender oil is great for my skin and I get my massage. The thing is, essential oils are fragrant and they can sensitize the skin. And this again is something that I want to avoid for our global skin of color family. There are other ways to get the benefits of aromatherapy. I don't mind if you burn candles and you have, incense sticks and, different smells around you, but to put it directly onto your skin is just not something I'm ever going to recommend. So with all that information, we're going to dive into Sesderma. I went through as many products as I possibly could. I basically started off with their best sellers. And then I asked you on my Instagram, Dr. Vanita Rattan Instagram, which products to review, and I did those as well. So there are quite a lot of products in this video. So let's start off with this C-Vit. Okay, I'm just gonna be quite quick about it. I don't like the product because it is loaded with fragrance and actually has a low percentage vitamin C. With cosmetic products, there is no legal requirement for us to either disclose the percentage of the ingredient or for it to be in the therapeutic index. We can literally put vitamin C at 0.001% and write vitamin C as the name of the product and sell it. So this is also what this channel is about, is to make sure that you guys can read the ingredients list. So this is the Dr. V Facial Pigmentation Kit. These are the ingredients. By the time you've watched 10 of my videos, you should be able to read these ingredients lists on all your skincare products. That would make you a Dr. V Inky hacker, and then you get to join our private Facebook group. Okay, right, so the next one is Ocean Skin Cleansing Gel. This contains perfume and alcohol, so it's not a safe product. The next one is CVIT Radiance Glowing Fluid. I like that it's in an airless pump. That's great because it stabilizes the antioxidants. And I also like that they use 3 ethyl ascorbic acid, but it is low on the INKY list, the ingredients list at the back, which means that it's a low percentage, and they added perfume. So I wouldn't recommend this product. They got a lot right, but it's just, you know, I don't think it's good enough for us. And then the next one is the Serenity Night Mask. This contains denatured alcohol and perfume. And then the last bestseller was Factor G Renew, which contained denatured alcohol and fragrance. So none of their bestsellers were NAF safe products, and I wouldn't recommend any of them to our Skin of Color family. Okay, let me go and have a look at their damaged skin collection, because I'm sure these will be NAF safe products. So I started off with Hydraderm Hyal Moisturizing Cream, and the ingredients weren't on the website, which wasn't ideal. So I had to go and find it from another website, but really all ingredients should be on the manufacturer's website. And it contained denatured alcohol, Prunus amygdalis dulcus oil, which is 3 out of 5 on the comedogenic scale. So that means I wouldn't use this product if you have oily acne prone skin. It contained perfume and D-limonene. So limonene is another fragrance. And it's a little bit frustrating because say you want to avoid a product with fragrance in it, but you don't know that limonene or geraniol are fragrances. How would you know that this is now a fragrance-free product? A lot of products even say fragrance-free and then have limonene in it. And I know that that's a fragrance and they really shouldn't be writing fragrance-free. Some of the major companies do this too. But hopefully if you've watched enough of my videos, you'll be able to recognize all of these little marketing tricks and not fall for them. Okay, let me go to the sensitive skin section of the website. This will have loads of native products in it. So I started off with the Sommeil Anti-Aging Contour Cream, and it contains perfume and it's full of comedogenic ingredients. So it has isosterol isosterate, it has Prunus amygdalis dulcus oil, and it has linum seed oil. Now, one thing you're going to notice when you watch enough of these videos is that every cosmetic formulator has their own signature. And it's almost like a combination of ingredients that you only tend to see in that brand. And the reason being, so I'm the manufacturer of the whole Dr. V range, for example. So you'll see, for example, in the facial pigmentation kit that we have alpha-arbutin, niacinamide, octadecanoic acid, for example. These ingredients you'll find in all of my pigmentation kits because I will buy them in 50 kg drums and I'll put them in everything because those are ingredients that I love. And so whoever the cosmetic formulator is, the ingredients that they love, they will buy in mass and they will put in everything, and it literally becomes their signature. So here, the signature is Prunus amygdalis dulcus oil. They've put this in lots of their products. So I would be at that plus fragrance. So they put fragrance and denatured alcohol in pretty much all their products for Sesderma, which is why, you know, I'm obviously not a huge fan. I do think that, however, that their sunscreens, they've done a better job. So one I like is Screen Cess Color. It does contain quite a lot of comedogenic ingredients. I would avoid it for acne prone skin. So it's got isopropyl myristate, 5 out of 5 on the comedogenic scale, isosteric acid, which is 5 out of 5, and it's got ethyl hexyl palmitate, which is 4 out of 5. So avoid it if you're acne prone, but otherwise I like it and I would use it to top up throughout the day. And lastly is their baby mineral. I love it until I saw fragrance. I just don't get it. I just don't understand why put fragrance on in everything. There's just no need. I really feel like consumers nowadays are far more educated about fragrance. And I do understand, 5-10 years ago, a consumer would purchase a cream, smell it and think, is this cream going to work? Or do I like this cream and am I going to buy it? But nowadays, now that so many of us are aware about fragrance and contact dermatitis, it doesn't make sense not to have a whole fragrance-free range, at least, and if it says for sensitive skin, you would assume it was good for someone with a broken skin barrier, but it isn't. So I've tried to stop doing videos where they're just so negative, and I try and find at least one product from a brand that I love. And I did manage to find one, which was their Screen Says Color sunscreen, but it was a struggle. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I'm really sorry. So I'm going to try and do better for you and find you better products. For South Africa specifically, because I know a lot of you asked for this video, I do really like Skin Functional, and they sent me their full Inky list on everything, and I did a full video for you as well. So do head over and watch that video if you are struggling to find good products. So as you know, I'm in the comment section for 1 hour at the launch of every single video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Dr. Vanita Rattan, and Skincare by Dr. V, and also on TikTok, which is Dr. Vanita Rattan. Also, we have our private Facebook group called Dr. V Inky Hackers. There are some questions you need to answer to get in, so it's not an easy, thing to join, but it's a fantastic place to be if you love skincare and you want advice from fellow Dr. V followers, because honestly, it's such a loving space to be. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.